Hello everyone and welcome to my review for Kengan Omega Chapter 86. This is definitely looking like the end of this fight. I think we're probably going to end it by the end of next chapter. It looks like we're probably going to get into a Ryuki backstory with the way it ends of him remembering Gaomukaku, his grandfather, and the way that he says to Naidan that it's all your fault. I have a feeling that we're going to see what exactly he's talking about, because I don't think he's just talking about him, being forced to kill. I think he's talking about something much more important than that. Probably the death of Gaomukaku. Also, don't worry about that Windows notification. It's my computer, not yours. But this chapter seems to be the confirmation that Naidan is going in for a suicide strategy. Liu is yelling at him to, calm down, we're businessmen, we don't kill each other in purgatory, we fight each other for entertainment and money. This isn't something that we do. Do you want to be permanently injured? You won't be able to fight anymore. And Naidan turns around and he gives him, this look. And he, kind of smiles at him. It's it seems that the friendship between Dongcheng and Naidan is actually genuine. It's a genuine friendship between the two of them. With the reveal of Naidan being a member of the Worm and seeing how ruthless he was, I think it was in question for a lot of people whether or not they had an actual friendship, or if Naidan was just pretending because he was infiltrating Purgatory as a member of the Worm. But it seems like the two of them do actually care about each other as friends. And with the way that Dongcheng is so concerned about Naidan, I'm finding it more and more likely that he's not the Tiger's vessel. Which is hilarious, because 3 or 4 weeks ago I was insistent that the Tiger's vessel is 99% Dongcheng. But that's just how Kengan rolls, I guess. I don't think the Tiger's vessel would be this concerned about someone, especially a member of the Worm, sacrificing themselves for a mission. It's not really clear if the Tiger's vessel is an actual member of the Worm, or they're just, working with them like the Wu Clan are. But considering the Tiger's vessel has killed people before, we're well aware of this, and pretty much did it nonchalantly. I don't think Dongcheng seems to really have the personality for that. He seemed a lot more stoic and serious earlier on in the tournament, but now, not really so much. If there's anyone here that's really stoic and serious, it's probably going to be Wang Feng, who is, super nonchalant about all of this. Same with Lebanner. They seem completely unconcerned with what's going on with Naidan. I have said before, I don't think Lebanner is the Tiger's vessel, but I do think that he's a member of the Worm. He's probably one of the imposters, one of the people that the Worm had to replace an actual Purgatory fighter, because he didn't seem to remember being beaten by Jose in the past. I mean, the guy may just be an airhead, but him not remembering something like that does seem like kind of a hint that maybe something's off with Lebanner. And Wang Feng is just, chilling. He's just doing fine right now. So, I think Wang Feng is currently the strongest contender. I mean, who knows? It'll probably end up being Jirota or Tarashi or something. Either someone that's super obvious so we never expected them, or someone who's basically had, no screen time throughout the entirety of the tournament thus far, knowing how Kengan plot twists work. But at the end of the chapter, Ryuki is forced to try and kill Naidan. He's on the ground, he's being strangled by him. He says he's going to strangle him to death. So he remembers Gaomukaku, who, in this panel, looks like a nice old man. Looks like a very kind person. But what he's saying here, promise your grandpa that you'll kill all the worms. Those pests must be exterminated. That's such a huge contrast. When I saw the Raws, I was like, aw, he seems like a nice old man. And then I read the translations and I'm like, oh my god. This sort of reminds me of, how your grandmother is, this really nice old lady. She's probably the kindest person you know, but, When she starts talking about those other people who moved into the neighborhood, you know, it's a different story. But, you know, instead of hating black people, he just talks to Ryuki about how much he needs to murder a cyber brain cult. So it looks like Ryuki uses his thumb to sever an artery in Nidon's neck. Like, with that amount of blood, it's a fucking artery or something. And that doesn't really seem great for Nidon. Kengan is, of course, a big, dumb, fighting manga anime thing. It's super exaggerated from real life. But blood loss is one of the things that they actually take semi-realistically. It's an actual thing that fighters are concerned about. I mean, Cosmo bleeding was a big concern with his fight with Okoya. Oma had to deactivate the advance to not bleed to death when he was fighting Kuroki. Blood loss is like an actual factor that they take into account in these fights. And with Nidon seemingly having his neck cut open and just spurting out like so much fucking blood, that's probably a fatal injury. So it seems like one of my predictions is going to end up being correct, unless Ryuki does something crazy. I mean, he's crying. I'm pretty sure he's killed Nidon here. Nidon's going to die from this. Is that Ryuki is going to be forced to kill Nidon, therefore losing the round for Kengan team and sort of failing his promise to Koga that he wouldn't kill anyone. So, lost the battle and the war, it would seem. Or, you know, the internal emotional character war, to try and be a better person that doesn't just fucking murder people without a second thought. This is definitely going to be very traumatizing for Ryuki. You know, breaking his promise to his new best friend. And I have a feeling this will be very important going forward. I definitely don't think Omega is going to be like Ashura. The series is definitely going to be continuing on after this tournament. So I think whatever happens after this, it's going to have to do a lot with Ryuki's morals and whether or not he's willing to kill people. Because before, it was just him sort of operating on a promise to Koga. So maybe now he'll actually not want to kill people. I don't know, we'll have to see. But I definitely think that, especially with what happened in this chapter, Ryuki is going to lose this round via killing Nidon. So with that, that's really all I have to say for this week's chapter review. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I do Kengan Omega chapter reviews every week on Thursday. If you enjoy other series such as Record of Ragnarok, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Chainsaw Man, I do videos on those series as well, so if you're interested in those, you should definitely check out my channel. If you enjoy discussing Kengan Omega with other people, or you just enjoy the content I produce on this channel, I highly suggest you check out my Discord server. I have a link to it on my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.